And in this lecture, we're going to be talking about Fiverr buyers and professionalism as a seller on Fiverr. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Fiverr users and what kind of users you might run into, and just a general demographic on Fiverr users, just to have a better idea of who you're selling to. So the first thing is you might encounter users who expect the world for $5. A lot of times what will happen is people will forget they're on a website that you're just charging $5 for, or paying $5 for a service, and the seller's only earning $4 of that $5. I think they forget. And oftentimes they'll not be satisfied with what they get. They seem to expect a lot more for what they paid, which is kind of silly when you come to think of it. And Fiverr's kind of driving down the price of services nowadays, and it's unfortunate, you know. And you have to make it clear in your gig exactly what you're going to be delivering. So a good thing I've heard in business is under promise and over deliver, and I think that would work well on Fiverr. So don't build up or hype up your service too much, and when you do deliver to the buyer, give them a lot more than they thought they would get. And I think you'll see you get a lot of satisfied people and a lot of repeat customers on Fiverr. You can also check their profiles after they order. So if you start to get a buyer who asks a lot of questions or seems to be a little bit troublesome or starts raising some red flags, you can always just click their profile and you can actually get some information. The first thing is, do they have a profile picture? If they don't, they might be new to Fiverr. The second thing is, do they have a rating? Buyers do receive feedback either because they sold something on Fiverr or because sellers have rated them after they receive feedback. So if you see a buyer with a really low star rating, 1 or 2, it could be time to cancel that order. They could be more of a headache than they're worth. They could be one of those types who expect the world for $5. So you have to be careful. Another thing you can get is their bio. They might give you an idea of what kind of person they are. They could be a business owner. They could be a web designer. And it'll give you an idea of why they're purchasing your service and how you can better cater to them. You have to remember too that most users on Fiverr, or at least most buyers, they're business owners. They're coming on Fiverr because they want to get services done for their company or their website or their product cheaply. It's kind of like a revolution now. Before, you would have to hire a contractor or freelancer to get these kind of services done, but now you can go on Fiverr and get them done quickly and really cheaply and get a pretty decent product at the end. And remember that most users are going to be reselling your services or outsourcing them. So don't be surprised if people go, oh, my client wasn't satisfied. That happens. A lot of people are actually reselling what you're selling on Fiverr because it's so cheap that they can charge more for it somewhere else. So what you're selling for $5, maybe someone's charging $50 for the exact same thing elsewhere and using you as a supplier. But it's all fair because in this course, I do tell you how to outsource work also for SEO gigs and social signal gigs. So let's talk a little bit about basic customer service. I'm not here to give you guys a whole course about it, but just some basic things you should keep in mind when you're dealing with people on Fiverr. So start all messages with hi or hey or how's your day, that kind of thing, and make sure to sign off on all messages. So put your name at the end, or regards, or thank you for your order, something like that at the end. It keeps things really professional and really tight. It's just a good habit to have when you're dealing with people online and in terms of business. So most sellers, at least from my experience, are not courteous or professional. So stand out, Oftentimes when I deal with sellers, they're very robotic, or their conversations with me don't seem organic, or they're very short or to the point. And it's good to stand out. So be more courteous to your buyers and more professional to your buyers. Be polite but firm. So don't bend to people's demands. Oftentimes you might get someone who's being a problem, and it's great to be good in customer service. But at the same time, you don't want to overwork or bend to someone's demands when you're only making $4 at the end of the day, guys. So you gotta pick your battles too. The best thing to do is if someone's being a headache, just cancel the order. I talk about this later in the course. Or even if worse comes to worse, just report them to Fiverr. Fiverr will more than likely, if you have a case, ban this user and cancel their order for you. Always offer a refund though. So If someone is genuinely not happy with what they got or they expected something else, always offer a refund. Sometimes people even come back and order again after I gave them a refund. And now sometimes I don't let them buy again, because, hey, well, are you just going to keep canceling? If you didn't like it the first time, why'd you come back? But oftentimes, it's just good for business. And not just that, it doesn't allow anyone to leave a negative review on your gigs. And I talk about that later as well in this course. Try to respond to messages in a timely manner to get a good average response time on your profile. This is really important. You don't have to be sitting by your phone or your computer every time you get a message on Fiverr, but try and check Fiverr at least twice, 3 times a day. I would suggest maybe once a day. That's how much I do it right now. And it'll give you a good average response time in your profile, and it'll make you look active. Another thing to consider, actually, that I didn't put into these slides is if you use the Fiverr app on your phone, there is a setting to put yourself online every time you log into the app, and that's a really good thing. It'll show you as online when people are viewing your gigs or your profile, and that will make them more likely to interact with you or purchase your gig too. So that's a good tip. And lastly, don't take things personally, guys. It's just business. If someone didn't like your gig or they want a refund, don't take it personally. Don't get all upset about it, and don't try and ask too many questions. Why? Don't make the buyer feel uncomfortable. Just refund them, guys. It's not a big deal. Remember, you're just losing $4, okay? And if people tell you, if people leave a negative review on your order, or they send you a message saying, "Oh, your competitor's doing this. Why are you only offering this?" Just ignore it, guys. Remember, there'll be always someone else who will like your business and who will compliment your business. And remember too, you can't please everyone. That's not why you're doing this. You're doing this to make money. You're not doing this to save the world or to please everyone. And that's it for this lecture, guys. I hope this helped. I know some of it was a little bit basic, but remember, the business on Fiverr is very, very basic too. So you don't have to be a customer service expert to be successful on Fiverr. Thanks a lot, guys.